Hey folks, imagine you're setting up a new office and you're staring at a dozen printer options while your team's already waiting on those marketing decks, invoices, and a stack of contracts that need to be scanned and signed today. It's that exact moment when you wonder if you should go with a cheap desktop model and risk jam after jam, or splurge on something that promises enterprise-grade performance but might just sit there gathering dust. The HP Color LaserJet Enterprise 8801DN is the kind of machine that lands in that gray zone, and I've been digging through the specs, the networking manuals, and a handful of real-world anecdotes to help you decide if it's the right fit before you click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest hesitation people have with an enterprise-level color laser printer is the total cost of ownership. Sure, the headline speed of 60 pages per minute sounds impressive, but if you're only printing a few hundred pages a month, you might be paying for horsepower you'll never use. What I found most useful is the way this model balances speed with workflow automation. The built-in AI tools can automatically detect document types as you scan, pulling out key fields like dates, totals, or customer names and feeding them directly into your ERP or CRM. In a small to mid-size business that processes a lot of invoices, that can shave off minutes per document and reduce manual entry errors. If your daily routine includes scanning dozens of purchase orders and instantly routing them to accounting, that feature alone can justify the higher price tag. On the other hand, if you're a freelancer or a home office that only needs occasional color prints and a couple of scans a week, the 8801DN becomes overkill. The machine sits on a sturdy metal base and takes up roughly a full printer's footprint. You'll need a dedicated space, plus a reliable network connection. HP's Wolf Enterprise Security isn't just a buzzword, it requires your IT department to configure secure boot, firmware signing, and regular patching. For someone without an IT admin, that extra layer could turn into a headache rather than a benefit. Let's talk about the practical strengths. The first thing that impressed me in my test environment was the reliability of the 480mm paper path. In a busy office where double-sided printing is the norm, you want a printer that can reliably handle the backfeed without paper jams. The 8801DN's Duplex unit seems built for heavy duty. It kept up with printing a 200-page brochure back-to-back without a single jam. That kind of consistency is a real money saver. Every jam you avoid means fewer service calls and less wasted toner. Another strength is the centralized fleet management portal. HP's Easy Fleet Management console lets you monitor toner levels, error codes, and usage statistics from any browser. In a multi-room office, that means you can assign quotas, detect underutilized machines, and schedule maintenance before a toner runout forces you to halt production. One of the IT managers I spoke with told me they've cut down on emergency service tickets by 30% after deploying the console across 10 printers, simply because they could see alerts before the device entered an error state. The AI-powered document capture also plays out well beyond the buzz. Picture this: you receive a faxed contract, a handwritten receipt, and a PDF invoice all in the same batch. The scanner's OCR engine not only digitizes the text but also tags each file based on content: contract, receipt, invoice, so you can file them automatically. That workflow, which would otherwise require you to open each file, name it, and move it into the right folder, becomes almost hands-free. For a legal office or a medical practice where compliance and audit trails matter, that automation translates directly into compliance risk reduction. Now for the practical weaknesses. The first downside that showed up is the cost of consumables. While HP claims the cartridges you can trust, each color cartridge in the Enterprise line holds substantially more toner than a desktop equivalent, but the price per cartridge is still high. If you print a lot of color-heavy marketing material, those cartridges can run you a few $100s a month. The printer does have a built-in toner-saving mode, but you'll notice a faint grayish hue on heavier graphics. If brand color fidelity is crucial, for example, a design agency that needs exact Pantone matches, you'll likely have to toggle that mode off, increasing cartridge usage. A second point to consider is the initial setup complexity. Because the machine supports secure boot, encrypted print jobs, and multiple authentication methods, smart card, PIN, network credentials, the out-of-the-box wizard can feel overwhelming if you're not used to enterprise security protocols. In the field test I observed, the IT lead spent about an hour configuring the printer's policies to align with their internal security standards. That's not a deal-breaker, but it does mean you need to budget time and possibly expertise up front. Lastly, the physical footprint and noise level can be a factor. The 8801DN isn't a whisper-quiet office device. During